How much preventive maintenance is enough or too much? The trade-off between cost and reliability is a theorem that can drive the profit for heavy construction businesses. I'm Larry, and this is Contractor's Site Report. When it comes to maintenance, John Ballmann believes more is more. I talked to him about his sense of ROI for his considerable investment in maintenance on his 48-unit fleet. His service support rep, Junior Gillum, talks a little bit about some of the technologies that Ballmann is adopting to add a layer of support to maintain reliability on that fleet.
Feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now. Roll like
John, you've come a long way from a 253C and a Peterbilt truck when you're 24 years old. How has your dependence on reliability evolved since then?
Reliability is still just as important today as it was back then. But now, keeping all of this equipment reliable has its challenges. One, in the house, we're spread pretty thin. Myself and we have our own mechanic, that's in charge of maintaining this equipment. And then we call on Cat and Fabic to help on some of the bigger projects.
Yeah.
We're integrating slowly and trying to do a better job at keeping track. Currently, we're as simple as a little name tag in each machine that has the hours and date of service.
Mm-hmm.
So the operator is supposed to notify the mechanic when it's due for service. Just had an instance yesterday. My mechanic showed up to an excavator and it was 15 hours over service, and he was all mad. I said, well, it's on VisionLink. He said, well, I don't have time to look at VisionLink. I said, well, it gets pretty easy. Just Cat app, he's got it on his phone, and look at VisionLink. That is one of the machines. Now, all of our machines do not have that feature, but we're working on it. Junior's getting us up to speed, and hopefully that we can integrate VisionLink in some of the pre-VisionLink equipment.
How did you decide to hire a mechanic?
In 2016, work was ramping up. We were sort of finished with the recession. Work is ramping up. We were looking for a mechanic, and a childhood friend called. Grew up on a dairy farm. Said, are you looking for a mechanic? I said, I am looking for a mechanic. Do you know somebody? He said, yeah, me.
All right.
I said, really? You're going to leave the family farm? He said, yeah, I think I want to. So he did, and freed my time, allowed him to focus on that, allowed me to grow the business, and things really took off. It was a function of need and the right person called.
How many pieces of machinery did you have at that time?
We're 4 times the size today as we were in 2016 as far as machinery and equipment.
Right. What part do service agreements play in maintaining the uptime that you're looking for?
Junior is assisting in that with our VisionLink on the equipment. That Cat offers basically a service that they'll watch VisionLink and know that the machine is due for service. But with us having our own mechanic, to this point, we've taken it all upon ourselves. He's here to turn wrenches, and we have a pretty good, reliable fleet. We don't always have wrenches to turn, but we always have services.
Right.
I mean, as we've grown, it's a lot for one man to handle.
Yeah. Junior, what's your role now then in getting John's fleet up and going with VisionLink?
Well, the part of it would be writing the contract, so every 250 hours he gets the filters that he's looking for. And 2, with the VisionLink, it's kind of taking more of the back office approach. We're in the background tracking his machine, so we know when to call him and say, hey, John, you've got a filtered order due for 307 machine. It'll be ready in 2 days if you'd like to come get it. You're 50 hours out from your service. It'll be ready for you when it's time to service it. John's already buying filters from Fabic anyway because he always uses all Cat filters on his Cat machines. But this, like he said, we get him a little bit of a discount on purchasing the filters because it's guaranteeing he's going to buy them from us. We include his VisionLink subscription in the cost of his contract, so it's just a win-win. It's less invoicing and paperwork for him, and it's guaranteed business for Fabic. We're really striving to be that key strategic partner with our customers.
There's some hardware issues too, right? You've got some machines that don't have VisionLink on them.
Yeah, and that's part of the process we're going through is getting the parts into stock so we can get them ordered and Jason can install them, then we can activate the VisionLink.
And Jason is our mechanic.
Installed.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your plan for getting those old machines retrofitted? How long is it going to take you to do that?
We wanted to start with the smaller equipment, the rubber tire backhoes, skid steers, and most of those have it already, but we may have knocked a sensor somewhere along the way or an antenna. So Junior is able to see that through the app possibly what parts are needed to get those up and running that already had it on it. Now we have some other equipment that has never had it on it. We're looking for location and hours. I'm sometimes struggle and wonder where we left the last machine, where it was dropped off. And also it's a security aspect, with the location. Nowadays, you just never know. So if there's GPS on it, adds a little bit of a safety factor.
Is Jason your mechanic?
Yes.
Is he doing component repairs and rebuilds?
We do the heavy lifting, but the internal guts of things, that's where we would call on Fabic. We recently had an engine, we replaced, or it's actually a couple years now that we had a complete engine failure. We removed the engine, Fabic built the new engine, and we reinstalled. Jason did that part.
Are you doing any preventive component repair?
Wintertime, we take our time, bring equipment in, and look for pins wore, where we might need some line boring and things like that. The biggest thing that we do is probably oil sampling. With every service, we collect an oil sample, send it into Fabic, and they send us an email back within 24 hours. It's green, yellow, or red. Green meaning no action, yellow, monitor, and red, stop what you're doing. CAT knows what metals were used in what components. This oil sampling forecast where we're having excessive wear, so we don't have that catastrophic failures. We haven't really had it much in the heavy equipment side of engines, but the on-highway engines, when and their CAT engines, you start seeing metal there. Now they're higher miles and things that I've bought used. So we haven't seen it so much on the CAT, or on the equipment side, is because it's pretty new equipment, relatively new.
Yeah. And it's interesting you talk about oil sampling intervals or service intervals. You've mentioned 250 hours a number of times on service intervals. Why not go to 500?
We had a short experiment where we were using a pretty expensive brand oil that really pushed to go to this 500-hour interval. However, what we started to see is that tooth wear, tracks out of adjustments, belts, dirty filters. We're in a dusty environment. All that stuff has to be maintained. Not that we couldn't go do that at 250 hours and not do the oil, but we're at the machine. I like to do it all.
Junior earns his money on undercarriage and ground engaging tools, right? I mean, I assume you have him coming out and doing inspections.
That's right. We just recently talked about a couple of them. So Junior, I'll let you take this one.
We use an ultrasound to measure the rollers, idlers, track links, track pads, just to make sure, to kind of forecast to see where John's going to be at. And if it's something we see accelerated wear in, we prep him. It's like, hey, John, you're at 50% and you've got half the hours that you should have on it. You may want to look at going back with heavy duty next time instead of System 1 or general duty. And 2, given the pandemic and all the availability issues that's caused, we can utilize CAT C-Pro program to get parts ordered, 90 days out. So he has them when he's ready for them, rather than the machine being down waiting on them.
Have you used the heavy duty undercarriage primarily?
Yes, but we've had 2 or 3 machines with System 1 undercarriage. In our environment, we're in a lot of rock and a lot of sand, and did not have a lot of success with it. I know that there's plenty of people that have. However, we're a believer in the heavy duty. So we converted these tractors from System 1 to the heavy duty undercarriage.
Yeah, that combination of rock and sand is kind of the worst of all worlds. Yeah.
It's horrible. At that point in my business, when we bought those, I could not say no to work.
Yeah.
If someone was calling, we went to work.
Well, it sounds like you're making strides. I mean, can you think of an example that makes you feel good about the way you're maintaining machines?
I guess the biggest thing is probably the resale value. I know that we get pretty good return on our investment in the end, so pretty proud of the CAT equipment and the brand.
All right, well, thanks a lot, John. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank you,
Nice to
Larry.
meet you, Junior.
Thank you, Larry.
You bet.
I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got